Are we live? Are we here? Somebody check in. Somebody let me know. I'm just going to do this clicky thing here. Are we back? Did we do it? Okay. There may have been a glitch. If there was a glitch, I apologize. If people couldn't watch it live, not sure why. By the way, the theme today is how do people get to know you? Oh, universe, you're very funny. How do people get to know us when there are glitches, when things get in our way? I'm Abby Haggard and I'm back. And this is Thursday, the 14th of March. We are 3 days away from St. Patrick's Day. We are in the midst of a sunny day here in my corner of the world. And the conversation that I want to have is, how do people get to know us? How do we give them the opportunity? What is it that we do and think and say that presents to them possibility? What is it? My feet stayed with you, and I am still spooning with you, spinning with you. You're not spooning with me, Vern. Thank you. Sorry. How do people get to know us? What is it that we have that we can rethink, replan, reset, and choose to change the way people are feeling when they're with us? I don't mean how do we do more to be more. I don't mean that. I mean, which facet of us do we bring? Now, I happen to know a very talented man. I know a bunch of very talented people. I know a very talented man who has a rural property, and it's fairly large, and therefore there's a great deal of work that has to be done all the time because that's what rural properties are. He's also a very gifted photographer, and he works hard, except that it doesn't feel like hard work because he loves what he does. And whenever I get the chance to say, will you do this project with me? He's right there all the time. The thing is that the person behind the camera is not the person that we're focused on. The person we're focused on is the subject of the camera. And so therefore he's just the invisible guy. Over here, chin high, turn this way, wave at me, smile, that's good, shoulders back, love that, beautiful. That's that guy. And very seldom is there an opportunity to say, so other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's your day? What's going on? Why? Because he's so incredibly good at that one thing, at that specific thing that everyone sees him doing. I curated a book. I wrote a book called Fame, the collector's edition. And in the process of writing that book, I came to a recognition of my own, a realization of my own, that fame plays a kind of a trick on us. Fame makes us bigger than life, larger than life, feels like overwhelm. It's a billboard. It's an Omnimax screen. They're everywhere. Employee of the month, swanky car. Except that it also renders us two-dimensional. There's no room to know what else we do because that one thing, the thing we're famous for, makes us larger than life. That's the total focus. How do people get to know us if we don't tell them, if we don't show them? How do people get to understand that we have a role in their lives if we don't show them? I made a decision when I moved into this apartment building. It's almost a year ago now. Incredible. that I would make friends in a not too annoying way anytime I bumped into somebody in the building. I wasn't going to invite them to go knitting with me or shopping with me. I was just going to be a friend. Because living in an apartment is it can be a lonely thing if you're not outgoing. And I am high functioning introvert. So I did. I would say, hey, beautiful day. So far not snowing. And they would all blink and laugh. And I'm dragging groceries in, and somebody would say, I'll got the door for you. And I would say, thank you so much. I'm in such denial. I always think I can carry everything in one load. Oh, I know, me too. It's all I did. It's all I do when I'm traversing the building to get from A to B, is I make sure I say something to someone, because it gives them a reason to say something to me. It gives them a reason to step out of their inner loop tape. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, you have a nice day. It interrupts that dialogue that they're having with themselves. And that's not a bad thing, because it gives all of us an opportunity to connect in a way that changes the energy. I was reading something the other day that every person we meet and we spend any significant time with, we carry with us a piece of them. We carry with us that moment we shared. It becomes part of our memory because they're not always in that memory with us. We've become a different layer of friends. Introverts don't mind being alone. You're right, Pat. Not at all. I don't mind. It's just the way I'm an only child. I'm an only child, military kid, leave, arrive, leave, arrive. There's a lot of time alone, packing and unpacking. Finding, what is that? Why did I keep that? Where is this? Why did I keep this and not that? Lots of internal conversations. I also love being out. I love being part of the outside world. I love interacting with people because it anchors me. It grounds me. Doing these videos, even when you're over there and I'm over here, we're still at some point connected. I know you're in behind that little white dot. I know, I can see you, teeny weeny in there waving back. The whole idea is this: in a time when we are confused, in a time, more importantly than confused, in a time when all of the steps we used to do don't seem to work the same way, it's really helpful to have a conversation with someone else who says, I know, right? Crazy. What we forget is, if you don't do the steps for 4 years, you're going to be out of practice. You're going to be out of shape. Friend of mine, crazy friend of mine in Tennessee, has a t-shirt that says straight out of shape. I'm not buying that shirt. I'll just laugh when he wears it. We forgot how to just be comfortable and casual and ordinary every day, doing things like going shopping and bumping into people and going to crowded places, and not for a single second wondering if it was okay, because we'd always done it, because our brothers and sisters had been doing it forever, as far as we could remember. And all of a sudden, for no reason at all, it wasn't safe. Well, what do we do in its place? I only ever do this. What am I supposed to do now? And there were no consistent instructions. Very scary. All kinds of people saying it's probably this. I don't know. You think it's that? I don't think it's that. I think it's this. Oh yeah, well, you do you and I'll do me. Stay away from me. Kind of happened on a Thursday, right? Just out of nowhere. And then it kept happening and kept happening and kept happening. And just last week was the fourth anniversary of being told, stay home. Fourth anniversary. People are, going to parties and all of a sudden somebody's getting sick and they're really sick and it's lasting a really long time and they're saying, oh my God, I hope it's not that thing again. We forgot that 6 years ago, I used to get a cold after every stage production. And that cold would last 6 weeks. Why? Well, I don't know. The run up to the stage production took 6 months. The show itself was 6 nights a week and 2 matinees on Sunday. I might have been a little tired. I might have not had enough rest. You think? And I would get sick. This is my body saying, sit, stay, good dog. Me. We've forgotten all of those things because it's been 4 years. And the only people among us who get it and got it and said, okay, all right, let's see how this works, were the gypsies, like me. Every 15 minutes, it's a new reality. All right, we don't like this one. That's all right. Hang on, there'll be another one any minute now. The joke in the military, every time you got told that you were going to get a posting, is they asked you to put down your 3 top choices for destinations. So my dad would always write London, Paris, Rome. And the joke is that it didn't matter what you wrote, you always got sent to some poor Cold Lake, Alberta. Is it summer? I don't know. It stopped snowing. Might be. Could be spring. It's hard to tell. How do people know us? What is it that we say? What is it that they hear? What is it that we do? What is it that they take away? How people know us is complicated because we don't know what their filters look like. So this is the hack I use, the simple win theory that I use. I ask a lot of questions. My dad, you could be a scientist one day. Really, Daddy? Yeah, you keep saying why every 15 minutes. But I do, I ask a lot of questions. And how long, why did you buy a farm? When did you buy a farm? You bought a farm? No kidding. How is it? And they would tell me. Do you love it? Would you sell it? Really? Huh? What's the best? What's the worst? What's the commute like into town? Really? I had no idea that road was open. How is it in the winter? Huh? I'm genuinely interested. I'm genuinely getting to know where they are in this moment when they're not with me. When that amazing photographer isn't taking pictures for me at some event. How's it going? Since he knows that I already know about the rural property, he can say, that windstorm, boy, all the leaves that on all the other trees are now in my yard. Well, how do you clean it up? One raking at a time, one bag at a time. Oh my God, how's your back? Terrible. So I now know what his filters are, what level of pain he's in, how exhausted he is, how ready he is for something different, how much he would value a bowl of soup. And because I know all those things about him, I have a much better idea of the way he sees me. Because I get an idea, I get a sense of what his filters are and whether they're working or not. And then I can also, bend a little and shape a little and ask some questions. I had a farm once. You did not have a farm. I did. Hobby farm. But a farm, I lived in the country. I had a tractor. I knew how to start it and drive it. I had trouble stopping it until I realized I had a perfectly good barn that I would drive into the side of. And all of a sudden, we knew each other differently. All of a sudden, what we were famously known for, was one of the things we knew about each other. Just one of many things. Does that mean that while you're exhausted and overwhelmed and barely getting by, that you're supposed to suddenly become 60 Minutes and interview everybody? No, 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 not at all. You are exactly right the way you are. If you're tired, it's because you've been doing your best. And people can tell, people can see. You're leaning in. And no one will begrudge you saying, I think I'm going to take a rest. A really good friend of mine lost someone very recently. He's exhausted. His fingernails are exhausted, like everything is exhausted. So we had a little exchange, and I explained a couple of things to him. Somebody paid him a visit, took care of a couple of things. And he just posted today that he'd had a lot of sleep. He was able to finally sleep. He was able to finally, this is what happens to us. We're hanging on to the shreds of what we think we still have because we think we've lost so much. And we don't want to lose the last bit, so we don't let ourselves sleep. The fact is, we haven't lost anything. It transitions. The people who were in our lives, physically in our lives, they were right here, or over there, or over there. The transition is they're now in here. They're now always here. And we have the same memories with them. And we bring them with us because they're inside. When something funny happens, we say to ourselves, oh my God. If he or she was with me now, they would have died of embarrassment. And that's when we realize we're not alone. And all of a sudden we can sleep. All of a sudden, oh my God, I'm tired. And we go to bed and we sleep. And we wake up and we think, and I'm actually hungry now. Huh, I actually feel like something to eat. Because we've accepted the transition. And we have no idea when that happens. We have no idea how long it takes. It's a combination of control of the thing we had, the way we had it, and the willingness to keep having it in whatever way it chooses to be. And that's when we learn a very important thing about us. What we learn is that we were so caught up in all the things we were doing in our lives. Our filters were so blocked, so full, processing all our stuff. Filters are clear. We can now see things in other people that we were unable to see. Tragedy, shock, confusion opens our eyes. Right after we squinch them shut because we're screaming, it opens our eyes and we say, oh my gosh, this is a totally different possibility. So my question today, how do people see us? Not how do they see us? You want to know how or you want to know how? What is it they do and use to be able to perceive us? What is it they need from us? What are the tools? What is the space, the room, the rest, the readiness, the ability, the willingness they need that we can help provide? A long time ago, my dad said, people look at a lot of things. Most of them they don't even see. And I said, how does that make any sense, Daddy? He said, because they're just looking with their eyes. They're not using any of the other skills. They don't actually see. And therefore, they don't actually get to savor. It just goes by in a blur. So today, the conversation today, how do people see us? The corollary question is, what do we do that's just like that? What are we not seeing? What are we missing out on? What is right there saying, hello, here I am? What is right there? And we're not seeing it. How do we know? Well, we might turn our head and look. We might give that a try. Step outside of ourselves and see what there is to see. I was talking with somebody the other day about a crazy story in their family tree. And I said, oh my God, what a great plot for a novel. And my friend said, you'd change the names though, right? And I said, maybe. All right, my loves. I'm going to love you and leave you today. There's a bit of an up and a down, and I know that. The opportunity we have is to say, did I just hear myself say it's not that bad? Did I just do that? Why did I do? What is wrong with me? I deserve things to be amazing. I deserve to fill my notebook every day with crazy ideas that came to me, shared by someone, my observation. Instead of sitting here with my head down, staring at my belt buckle saying, poor me. I deserve to live my life. I deserve the freedom to be. And the reason I'm saying that is that it's not just me. It's thee and me. We do have to do the work. We are exhausted. We don't have to do the work alone. Pivotry in motion is a concept. It's an idea. It's an if that, then this, have you ever noticed? And by the way, here are a bunch of stories of people just like us who had the same aha as we. It's an opportunity for us to say, maybe we need to have a talk. Maybe we do. Because I'll tell you something that's really crazy that we never think about. You know that old expression, you can't see the forest for the trees? We're the trees. Okay? We're the trees. You know what trees don't do, at least not while anybody's watching? They don't turn around and look behind them because they're pretty much tree. They can't see the forest. They are the tree. We are the tree. You know what it takes? It takes something else, someone else, another tree, a bush, someone with a different perspective to be able to say, you know what's right beside you? Right behind you, right beside you? Here, let me take a picture. I'll show you. We are in this together. We are a tribe. We are a village. We are a connected bunch of crazy people. And we are exhausted and confused and stuck and annoyed when things don't go our way. People say that all the time to me. And I always say, things don't happen. People make things. People make things happen. If you're not happy, ask for help. Things won't change by themselves. That rock better move. Really? Are you in a hurry? Because rock. And all we need to do to give people a chance to get to know us better is show them how. This is how to get to know me. This is what I do. I'm here, writing, working, planning, working on a cool project with an American friend who's on the brink of something amazing. Half the time I'm saying, wait, you got to do this. The other half I'm saying I'm pulling her sideways through a keyhole. But she's getting there, and it's amazing. How do I feel? So I'm here to do that with you when you're ready to do that for you. Pivotry in motion. It's going to be amazing in every way. So before I go, one last thing. We're at 322 on the YouTube scale. We only need however many more that is to get to 350 by my birthday, which is April 16th. Not that I'm plugging it yet. It's far too soon. So tell your friends. If you like this, if you thought this was curious making, if this made you think, good. That's my job. And when this crazy Irish weekend is behind us and everybody's saying, ow, don't breathe so loud around me, I will be back next Tuesday with more of this fabulous adventure. So until then, you know the drill. Be good to you. Be good to you. Remember that people feel lonely and lost and confused and exhausted. They need hugs as much as we do. Give them one. They'll give you one back. It works like that. So be good to you. You deserve it. Hug your loved ones. They deserve it too. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching twice.